Well, hi there. Good morning. Welcome in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Back to the work week. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about back to school. That's right, the kiddos getting back to school. Did you go and save a little money this past weekend? I hope so. It was the tax-free weekend, at least on the state of Missouri's side. So a lot of people going back and getting all the backpacks and all of the pens and pencils and crayons that the kids need. Maybe you took a little break on the clothes as well. I hope you took advantage of that and the kids are getting ready. I saw my godchild yesterday, had a little get together for my husband's birthday. Happy birthday again, Jim. My godchild came over and I said, "Are you looking forward to going back to school?" And she was like, are your kids doing that? They're at least looking forward to seeing their new classmates and making new friends. We'll find out if a new freshman is excited to go back to school as we get ready to do the weather segment.
Alrighty, welcome back into this new more weather forecast video. This one has been looking significant for a couple of days. So
good morning to you.
Good morning, Monica.
Finally.
Nice to be here.
You know him and you love him, I hope. It's our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. First of all, good morning, Beckett.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you doing good this morning?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
And you're welcome. And he's back with his graphics back home now after they were near the Grafton, Illinois area. He's been doing a lot of wonderful field reporting for us over the last couple of months. We went from talking about flooding to extreme hot weather. And unfortunately, Beckett, that hot temperature is back again. For the next couple of days?
Yes, for today and tomorrow, we're going to be bringing that heat back into the area. But I think you're going to like as we go later into this week, we're going to be cooling down.
Fantastic. Now, I know we talked about crazy high heat indices over the last week or two. Are those back as well?
Yes, they will be today and tomorrow.
Okay, so before we get into the forecast, I know that you are getting ready to start DeSmet as a freshman in high school. And we mentioned last week, are you excited about it? Because my godchild said she wasn't. Are you excited about going back to school?
Yeah, I would say there's some excitement also, though I'm a little bummed out that summer's coming to an end.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's talk about those summer temperatures, and we're also going to talk a little bit about our friends in northern Florida from a completely different aspect of the weather. But let's do our local forecast first.
Yes, absolutely. So today, this morning, around 80 degrees in the St. Louis area, mostly sunny. Then as we go into this afternoon, we'll have a high of around 95 degrees, also mostly sunny. Again, going to be another hot day. This weekend, we had temperatures around 90. Again, we're warming back up into the mid and tomorrow into the upper 90s. So make sure you stay hydrated, limit those strenuous activities, check on your pets, and check on the elderly as well. Now, moving on to the current conditions in St. Louis, we got a temperature of around 79 degrees, 72% humidity, so it's going to be a humid one out there today. Sunrise today at around 6:06 a.m. and sunset will be at 8:06. We'll be losing a lot of that sunshine this month as we go towards the fall month. Now, looking at Hurricane Debbie, of course, there in northern Florida at around 6 a.m. our time, 7 a.m. Eastern time, we did see Debbie make landfall in the Big Bend region of Florida. And we are seeing those impacts there along the coast of Florida, but likely actually the biggest impact from the storm is going to be flooding up into South Carolina and Georgia. Could get upwards of 10 inches, so looking at a very big flooding threat there from Savannah, Georgia, up into North Carolina and down into South Carolina as well. Now, looking at our 7-day outlook, again, 95 degrees as our high today, mostly sunny skies, low of 75. Tomorrow, really warming up. Tomorrow's going to be a very hot day, getting into the upper 90s and sunny. So, again, another day where you're going to want to take those heat precautions. Again, limit those strenuous activities, stay hydrated, check on the elderly and your pets. And then we are going to have those 80s really cooling down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and those 80s below average temperatures throughout this week. But as you can tell, no rain is going to be in the forecast, so this is definitely going to be one of those weeks where you want to water those plants.
Well, that's gorgeous. I mean, look at that. 84, 86, 87. I'll take that over these 95, 98 degree days and the heat index. Again, super, super hot. Beckett and I always remind you to take care of yourself first. Take care of the elderly, the kids, take care of the animals. Again, these are dangerous temperatures that we're talking about. So excited. Now, when are you starting school, Beckett? In a couple of weeks?
Actually, next week.
Oh, next week. All right. So within the next week or two, the kiddos going back to school. Well, we're excited once you start to hear what you think of the transition. Again, going from 8th grade freshman and getting into high school. So excited about that for you. Beckett, have a wonderful day. I see that Jill and Marty are on, his parents. So hi to both of you. And thank you for allowing your son to be a part of our show. Beckett, have a beautiful day.
You too.
All right, that's aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore with our What the Weather segment. Quick traffic news. They are doing some work on 44 westbound right around the 141 area around Williams. Only a lane open, and that is going to be around the clock. That won't wrap up until 6 a.m. on Wednesday. Let's get into the news you can use. So within the next 24 hours, we will know who the running mate will be for the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and her presidential bid. Now, on that list of interviewed Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. He was asked about the possibility of being chosen as her running mate. He said he could not give many details and simply said right now he is focusing on continuing as Illinois' governor. Tomorrow, by the way, is primary day. Voters are going to go to the polls. They're going to choose their choices for governor, Senate, other local elected official roles as we go into the November election. Polls will open tomorrow at 6 a.m. and they will close by 7 p.m. There is a new CBS poll out that shows Vice President Kamala Harris with a 1-point lead over former President Donald Trump. Before Biden announced that he was dropping out, he was actually trailing by 5 points. The latest on the possible debates, by the way, between Harris and Trump, September 4th, September 10th, one on ABC, one on Fox News. Neither of those 100% confirmed. We'll let you know if that does change. Another black bear sighting. You know, just about a month or so ago, we were talking about a black bear sighting in Baldwin. Well, this now is in Columbia, Illinois, to be exact, more in the rural area of Monroe County. There have been a handful of sightings in the last 48 hours, last seen on Main Street. Police asking residents, of course, to stay inside. The bear's been seen hiding in trees and in backyards. We had a bear sighting again in West County, in Jefferson County, making its way around. Not sure if it's the same bear or we've got a ton out there. Remember, if you see a black bear or any type of a bear approaching you, do not go up against it. Make yourself as large as you possibly can. Raise your arms, stand on your tippy toes. Otherwise, take those pictures that I know you want to take from afar. Don't try to get a selfie with it right next to you. That's when you put yourself in danger. Let's give you an update on the Olympics and talk about our medal count and what happened yesterday. A little bit of a wrap up for you. There you go. China with 21 gold medals, but look at the 19 that I think we had 9 when I was last talking to you last week. 19 now gold, but we've got 72 total medals. So we definitely lead in the overall medal count. And some of the highlights, it was a great day for Team USA. They wrapped up swimming with 2 golds and 2 world records. Saw an American become the fastest man in the world. Scotty Schuessler, by the way, got the Olympic gold medal in a thriller. And Noah Lyles won the Olympic 100-meter gold in an epic photo finish. For the women, Regan Smith and Tori Husky broke the world record in the 4x100-meter medley relay. And Bobby Fink set a pace that couldn't be matched in the men's 1,500-meter freestyle, securing not only gold, but a world record as well. So exciting to watch. If you had anything that you absolutely loved about the Olympics from yesterday, be sure to drop that into your community that's watching along with you. Other sports news, the St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis City SC. First of all, the Cardinals, they have a makeup game against the Mets. That'll be at 4:15, and they're coming off a loss, unfortunately, to the Cubs, 6-2. And St. Louis City SC tied Juarez at 1. And looking at their schedule, next up is Portland, but that game is not until August 24th. Simone Biles, by the way, could take home another 2 gold medals today. She's up for 2 more events. And triathletes are taking to the Seine River today in the triathlons after the IOC said it was okay to swim in the Seine River. I don't know about that. I don't know that I would want to get in, but I wish them all the best. All right, that's a wrap up for you of the news you can use, your Olympic news, your sports news, and of course, your What the Weather. I'm super excited to sit down with our guest today. Now, tomorrow we will have our Medical Monday on a Tuesday because Dr. Sarah Jensen taking her girls to college. So she'll be joining us with a patient tomorrow. And we also have the Dancing UPS Man. Do you follow him on maybe Instagram or TikTok? He has millions of followers bringing love and hope through dance. Something he did back during the pandemic. He had like 3.7 million views. It went viral on just a simple video he put out there right before he went to bed of him dancing, and now it's become a thing. Russell Butler, I cannot wait to have him on tomorrow. He'll start the show in the first half hour, and then we'll have Dr. Sarah Jensen and her guest, her patient, in the second half hour. Today, instead of our Medical Monday, but ironic, they do actually have a medical background. Scott and Johanna Schuessler, my guest, they are behind Adventure Unknown. But before we talk about Adventure Unknown, I always want to talk about the people that are giving back to our world. Who are they as human beings? What have they overcome? And where do they have this vision where your vibe attracts your tribe, the community that you didn't know that was waiting there for you? Scott and Johanna will be in the blue chair when we return.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my 2 best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh, wait. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. I am your host, Monica Adams. It is 7:14, and we're going to get into our show now. I mentioned my friends Scott and Johanna Schuessler coming in to talk about Adventure Unknown, but we want to go, where were they before they ever came up with this incredible dream? So first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. So normally on Mondays we do our Medical Monday Ask the Doctor segment, right? So ironic, though, that the two of you do have a background in medicine. So I want to go back before we go forward. Let's start with you, Johanna, where you grew up, and you're currently still working in the medical field.
That's correct, yes. So I was born and raised in Potosi, Wisconsin. And fast forwarding, I grew up on a dairy farm, but we ultimately met in college in Dubuque, Iowa.
I love that.
Yeah.
So they have this romance back then and stay together in this. But what made you want to go into the medical field?
Interestingly, I have 2 brothers, and all 3 of us, I don't know if it's because of growing up on the farm, we were just constantly kind of in the science world, if you will.
Yeah.
So we all ended up in medicine, interestingly. So I just pursued the path of a physician assistant degree, and that's what I still continue to do.
And how many years has it been?
21.
21 years.
Yeah.
What do you love most about being in that field?
Probably just direct patient care, listening to the patients and seeing how I can help them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Scott, as she mentioned, the two of you meet in school. How did you get into the physical therapy field?
Well, someone told me way back when in high school about physical therapy, and I'm like, well, I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't want to go to school that long. And I ended up going to school that long anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, just wanted to say kind of the same thing. Just really wanted to, I love science, and I wanted to help people as much as I could. So.
But you end up going and opening up your own practice. So how did that come about?
Well, I worked for someone for a corporation for about 10 years, and then just kind of figured it out and said, well, I didn't like how they did this or that. I think I could do it better. So it was just my way of making my own decisions and figuring out how I wanted to treat people the way I thought was best.
Yeah, and you opened your practice where?
My first location was in Baldwin, right on Manchester Road, kind of between Clarkson and New Baldwin.
I love the pictures that we have, if Zach can pull those up, of not only you saying, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, I'm going to open it, but I'm going to get the entire family involved in building this and putting this together. I love that. You get your girls involved in all of this. Actually, that's the question I have for you. Do they kick and scream, or do they want to be a part of it?
They do want to be part of it. I mean, when I opened up that clinic, they were, 2-3 years old, and so they didn't really know anything else other than that they're going to work with mom and dad to help run the family business. So it's continued time and time again since then. So
You're like, you want toys? You got to have, we have to work. Yeah, so there's the pictures, by the way. That's 2010, June of 2010, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there they are. So how old are the girls now?
18 is my oldest, 15 and 13, 12.
And their names?
Krista, Kinley, and Allison.
Okay, so
Yeah.
girls, thank you. But okay, is that a trash can? She's like, I'm done. Thank you, girls, by the way, for everything you've done for your parents. But it's not just that. We're going to kind of bounce back and forth. They also go from helping with the physical therapy to this dream that now has become a reality with Adventure Unknown. And we'll show some pictures of that also, of them helping build that. So they've always been right by your side, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, our property, we've got a lot of land, so we cut wood to heat the house, and so they're always working. 3 daughters, no sons. We get a lot of compliments that they're tough kids, and it's very much an understatement.
A lot of estrogen for you, Scott. Do you have animals?
We have chickens, a dog,
And a dog.
and some cats. Yeah.
Are any of them male?
Not that I know of, actually.
That I know of. Wow, he does have a lot of women around him.
Yeah.
But yes, strong women for sure. So, okay, so physical therapy, PA, and in that field, what do you feel got you ready for this passion? Because we always like to talk about work ethic. We like to talk about, who you are as a human being, what you love giving back to the world. So all the power and the passion in the entrepreneurial spirit, where did that come from? Because people that are watching at home might be going through the grind day in and day out, doing what they do or what they did, but have this burning passion inside to do something else. Where did that come from?
Like for me, I think just growing up on a dairy farm, I think the work ethic is just instilled in you from little on.
Yeah.
I mean, you work sun up to sundown, and so I think that was the propelling force for me.
And for you, Scott?
Well, I mean, once we decided to open up the physical therapy practice, that put us in a very uncomfortable situation, and learned that was an awesome move in our life, and we became very passionate about doing our own thing and encouraging others to do their own thing. And then we saw the kind of resistance to the normal, that people are too afraid. They want that guarantee, paycheck or, to show up to work. And really it's not a guarantee, but it feels like a guarantee. So we just kept pushing friends and family to kind of do what they want, whether it's, business or pleasure. But the challenge became the passion. It's like we saw the challenge in trying to encourage other people to do that. And when we did it, we say one of the best decisions we ever made in our lives, and trying to get others to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing. And since we started this show last year, I don't know how many emails or text messages or people stopping me on the street saying, how do you go from what Scott just said, which is a guaranteed, kind of guaranteed paycheck, what feels comfortable, but that comfortable word is the one that I like to erase, because to me, I always say, I want to be known for this phrase. The greatest success comes from the most uncomfortable places, right? Get uncomfortable and watch what happens. It really makes you find out what that inner drive is and the determination is. The question I have that I think a lot of people would probably want to know is, when you decide to take something like this on, which can be scary, some people feel like it puts strain on relationships. Did the two of you go through that at all, or did it make you go stronger? I like to laugh.
I'll let you answer.
Oh, gosh, that's funny. Strain, yes, for sure. But at the end of the day, I mean, when we really have to sometimes hash it out or like get into a discussion, I think we always come back to the same place, which is that we're in it together.
You have to be, right? Because that's why you get into a marriage, and I wish more people would understand this. When you have your vows, and it is literally for better or for worse, and you're there in sickness and in health, it is not for the puppies and the rainbows. It's the hard times. You celebrate the fun times together, but it's when you make the decision, we're going to do this, it's scary. Hey, any of us who decide, and you smile, to be an entrepreneur, it's not a walk in the park, right? You're not eating cake every day.
Yeah.
You're lucky to eat.
Some days you're right.
Right?
Yes.
Well, and so what would you tell people who want to have the same spirit that the three of us sitting in this room have decided to do? They want to be an entrepreneur. They no longer want to go through life just going through the motions, but they are scared. How would you tell them to leap?
I would encourage them to not even allow yourself to say an excuse. No excuses are allowed. You know, people aren't ready. They're not financially prepared to not pay themselves, or just you got to do it. And I wish very few people have said, you know, I regret going on my own, because we realized real quick, when you put your house on the line and your mortgage, there's no better motivation for success than if you have all that on the line.
Oh, you just gave me a chill.
Yeah. So I mean, I still every day do it, you know, and most people are afraid, and I get it, but start talking to more people that do go on their own and see what they said. But I bet you most of them, or if not all of them, will say one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And I think it kind of leans into the whole unknown thing, is people don't even know what the potential is. And it's completely unknown, but what we've realized, and the people we've met who are entrepreneurs, it's that unknown risk, and it's amazing what the reward is.
And that's probably what a lot of you are wondering. So where did the name come from? What the decision was to finally pull the trigger and build this? I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to move into that. Adventure Unknown, located in Fenton, by the way. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary and had a wonderful get-together with that. We're going to be there with them and showcase it all on Thursday afternoon evening, from 4:30 to 6 is the live broadcast. I want you to be there with us. You'll be able to find out about this community that you didn't realize was waiting there for you. A lot of you feel lost in life, and you feel like friends have turned away from you. You're making advancements in your life. They're not supporting you. This is where the community is, by the way. You'll do a lot of things together: socialize, work together, travel together. We're going to talk about all this with Scott and Johanna and Adventure Unknown when we return. We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that. Let's go. Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind.
Ooh, doesn't that look nice? You know, at some point, that family who owns Just Pools had the same dream that Scott and Johanna had. They wanted to open up their dream, and they did that decades ago. And that's what you always want to see, a family business thriving. And I want to thank them for being a part of the Real Monica Adams show. It is Just Pools, not just pools, but spa specialist as well. That could be your backyard. That's theirs, by the way. When you go to the West Outer Road in Arnold, you'll see that beautiful pool. And again, we always mention that those features are what people are really loving. The fire, the water, the rock features, the sun tanning ledge. I yesterday was able to have a party for my husband, and the Adirondack chairs that they have there, I was drawn to. They're made from recycled milk jugs. I mean, how cool is that? And they're super heavy, by the way. We put those together, and it was a nice addition to our backyard. Just Pools, pool and spa specialist. They have 10% off chemicals, 30% off all those fun toys. Find out more at 636-464-7110. And somebody asked me last week, will they have an end of season sale? Of course. But then they get into getting all those hot tubs in, because we go into the colder weather and then you want to bounce from the pool to the hot tub. Thank you, Madonna and the team at Just Pools. It is 7:26. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, Scott and Johanna Schuessler, they own Adventure Unknown, but again, have quite a walk of life that they've come from. If you have any questions about what they've built, be sure to drop that in. I see a lot of people saying good morning to you. You know who you are because you're on. But also share this show with your family and friends right now, because if they want to ask us any questions, have them do that. If not, make sure that they watch it later, because what we want to do today is kind of set the stage for our show coming up on Thursday. One of the things people also want to hear is that your walk of life wasn't just always easy, because some people say, oh, well, it was easy for you. No, we've all gone through tough times, losses. I lost my father at a young age. You lost your mother at a young age. Very difficult thing to overcome. How old were you?
Gosh, I think I was 28, when we got married. Is that right?
And just a devastating blow when something like that happens and you don't have your confidant and role models by your side. How difficult, obviously, was that for you to go through? And do you lean on her on a daily basis and asking for advice?
Yeah. I think the hardest part of that whole thing was that we had just gotten married. Yep. I mean, less than 2 months after we got married. So I remember looking at him saying, I don't know that you should stay married to me because I'm forever changed.
And what did that mean to you?
It didn't register for a while, and then it's. You're right. She was very much changed. She lost her best friend in so many ways, and now I got to live through that with her and help support her, and which is almost impossible when you lose your mom.
Yep.
But,
well, and you hear those words, and I understand where she's coming from, because I was Daddy's little girl, and to hear those words out of the woman that you love, I'm sure what you go into in your mind is, well, I'm not leaving you. I love you, and instead, I will give you your space that you might need, but I'll be there to lift you up, right?
Yeah, and that's what you try if you can stay strong yourself, and it's tough. I mean, it's you think you know how she's going to respond in one way, but then once that happens, now expectations are changed. You don't know how she's going to respond. She might just start crying for no reason.
Oh, absolutely. But that is when some people, Johanna, would turn away from faith. Did you turn closer in, lean closer in? Did you struggle with faith?
I never struggled with faith like that. I never worried that, God, did it or there was anything like that. No, I leaned in more.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When there is loss in life, it's the depression, the anger, the resentment, all these things. You're going to go through it all because it's the shock of it all. Mm-hmm. But then ultimately, it's the end for all of us at some point, and if you believe, they're in a better place than us and guiding. So I'm going to ask you, how is she guiding you? Because you've had loss also, within that first year of marriage?
Yeah, I lost my brother, who was 34 at the time. So,
two big blows.
Absolutely. Tough first year.
Well, it can be, and that is what could disrupt and ultimately cause a divorce, because there's so much loss. But instead, did it bring the two of you closer together?
I think so. And even for me, I think it brought me closer to his parents. We have a much closer relationship than I think we would have without those losses.
Yes.
So
do you talk to your brother? Do you talk to your mom on this adventure? And if so, what do they say to you?
I don't know that I per se, I feel is what I would say. I don't talk to her. I just have these feelings that I can sense her presence.
I mean, if she were to be here right now, what would she be saying about you choosing to take this on a year ago?
It's funny because this is how sometimes Scott and I get into like little tiffs and stuff. But my mom raised me to be very independent and wanted me to be able to take care of myself, independent of a man. So we get into arguments sometimes because I have an opinion, and he doesn't necessarily like my opinion sometimes. But if I put my feet down, he knows, oh, she's going to pursue this one. But, I think just all in all, I feel her just always telling me to like stay confident, stay close to Jesus. Mm-hmm. Those are two of the big things she taught me. And I feel like I do bring that to the table for Adventure Unknown and in our relationship, because I think everyone sees Scott as like the face of Adventure Unknown, but I'm definitely there in the background.
Oh, I would put you both there. Just from meeting. I mean, again, and that's what I want you all to know. We're going to drop some pictures in of what this place began at and what it is now. When I walked in, which is exactly what Scott and I have talked about, it's the wow factor. You don't know what you're walking into. My dear friend and their friend, former St. Louis Blue, Reed Lowe, said, hey, you and your friend want to come by? We were going off to a wine dinner, and I almost didn't come because I was like, do I really want to have a drink before we're going to a wine dinner? But we stopped in real quick, didn't have a drink, just stopped and looked. And that is what you see right as you come around the corner. You see even more when you first walk in and you're trying to figure out, what is all this? That speakeasy, you probably think is the place where the guys gather, but nope, it's been a commingling space. Women, men both go in there. It's a beautiful space, and a lot of people have said, well, what is it? That's what we're here to talk about, and on Thursday as well. But the reason the two of you decide to build Adventure Unknown is because you were struggling with, hey, we want to get together with friends, but we go into these loud restaurants and bars. You get together after kids have played their sports. They get ready to go back to school. People want to work. Why work from home when you can have a beautiful place that looks just like that? And then it was traveling together, and it's crazy that you have to talk people into going on a holiday or vacation when that's what we need for that mental, spiritual break. You hear all of that, whether those are God whispers, which I believe they are. You hear all of that around you of community, 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 and the two of you decide to build this. But where does the idea come from for this? And when did it start?
I think I always say it comes from a lot of frustrations that we've had with life, some business, some social. But like you said, in physical therapy, I would be stretching a patient, working with them one-on-one, and I'd have conversations with them every other day usually, and we either talk business or social and try to have the ability to. And I didn't know at the time, it was just a networking of myself and them, and then. When I'm not doing therapy anymore, where can I go to meet that next person to bounce ideas off or to get, share my ideas or get their ideas? There was no place for that. In volleyball, I coach my daughter's volleyball on Friday nights after the games. Parents and kids all want to go hang out and, have a pizza. Where do we go? Well, it's always me calling 4 or 5 restaurants saying, hey, do you have room for 15? And if the answer is finally a yes, it's, well, you're in the back room. Mm-hmm. You might have a waitress. You might not. You might have service. You might not. You might have its chair, or you might not. So where can the kids and the parents go and hang out, on certain nights? Where can you do everything that you need for that day, or as much as you can in one space, but really you have to know the atmosphere, know what you can expect. You're not going to Starbucks to have a one-on-one meeting and not be close to a plug-in a computer or some kids screaming next to you. It makes your situation less desirable or less successful. So we that and a whole lot more. We try to put as many different, what I call atmospheres in one place so that when you walk in, you're going to have a good time. The people that are there are going to be like-minded. They're going to be excited to see you. They're going to want to have a great next hour with you. And, to try to just promote this vibe that everyone's wanting to be a part of.
It's the whole vibe attracts your tribe, right? And it's this community. I've been mentioning community, and I can't say that enough because there's so many people who feel lost in life, whether it's friends that turned away from them, family that's turned away from them. They feel isolated. There are people who drop comments in feeling like they're alone on an island and they're just looking for someone to come along. You mentioned it feels like that Cheers, like, oh, Norm's here, right?
Yes.
You walk around the corner, oh, a new person. So was it your idea or your idea together?
It was definitely both of us.
Good. Yeah. So you just said as far as what you felt you wanted to build. When you heard him bounce these things off of you, what part did you add to say, well, this needs to exist in this as well?
I think the travel component is really where I guess I probably spearheaded that concept more. We were in Africa on a trip that we didn't even know that we were going to be on this trip. So, I mean, if you take a few steps backwards, Scott had met a guy on a hunt in Alaska, and they said, about staying connected, and the comment was made like, well, whoever, connects after travel, it's really something people don't do. Well, a couple months pass, and Scott gets a phone call, and he invites him on a trip to Africa. So Scott calls me while I was at work, and he says, do you want to go to Africa? I said, well, it was never on my bucket list, but, I would be entertained to go. So we went and had this experience in a location that we never really planned to go to with people we didn't even know. Only Scott knew Robert. And I can always visualize exactly where I was the moment I said, this is such a unique idea of just planning a trip to a destination that you've never been to, nor did you ever know you wanted to go to, with people that you don't know. And as a result of it, might be a life-changing experience for you.
Well, and the interesting thing is, this is a comment in some of our discussions that we've had, that the people who went with you, so the two of you do hunt, but you had people that went along with you that were like, no, I don't hunt. But by the time that trip was over, did you say everyone did on that trip? Or maybe everybody but one? Everybody?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? So we've got some pictures of the animals that are inside of Adventure Unknown, and I'm not talking a deer head. I'm talking about some major hunts. There was one. We have a video that I'll be showing in the next couple of days where it was like, oh, don't get scared about what's right around the corner. What has been your favorite from your hunts?
Well, people love hunting or they hate hunting. Our club's not a hunting club, but I mean, I do love to hunt, but the conservation is the biggest draw about it. Yes, we went to Africa with 5 couples. One person of each couple hunted, not just the guys, but one couple, the girl hunted and not the guy. And by the second day, the person that didn't hunt understood that animal is going to be eaten by many, many people. Every single part of that animal is going to be used. You see the faces of these locals there, and they get to eat and they're excited, and so that's why all of the non-hunters, they were fighting with the spouse, like, no, I'm shooting the next animal.
Isn't that interesting?
And you don't understand it, but when people have a change, if you think you can't hunt because you don't hunt, no. It's different over there. And it really changed everyone's lives, and they all came back saying probably the best trip they've ever been on in their life.
So it's interesting because my husband and I are not hunters. I'm such a big animal advocate and fan that I was like, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could pull a trigger. But I would always, and this is what we need to do in life, I would always have an open mind. And I understand more now. And I get it. It's like the animals, God did put them there for us, as long as someone's not just doing it just for a trophy, which is what I'm against. But it's actually, as you just said, used. You mentioned that it was more of a spiritual thing for a lot of people.
I mean, it's hard for it to not be. I mean, it's just the people. The people are just so authentic and just make you see life very differently. I mean, we would sit down some afternoons as travelers and sit there and talk about how another country lives life differently compared to how we live life in the States. Why are we rushing around? Why is everything so fast paced? I mean, these people take a step back, and have this community and family time. And it's interesting to see that.
Have your girls gone on these trips with you? And if so, what have been their favorites?
Yeah, we've taken them to Africa.
They went this year to Africa,
March. Yeah. We've taken them to Iceland. That was another incredible trip with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Adventure Unknown. Scott and Johanna Schuessler. Tell me what's going on that picture on the right.
That's the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Yeah.
So again, they've had some incredible times, and that's what it is. It's about beautiful pictures, by the way. This is what they do. They travel together, work together, socialize together with family, and then with friends that become family. They go to these incredible places throughout our world and then come back and say, when's the next one? When can we do this again? Love that. So this is in the BVI?
Yeah, so this was just last year. We try to find every unique opportunity we can, even on trips. And so we found this island 2 years ago, and selfishly I called it Scott Island because it was my birthday. But we were the only people on that island for that afternoon, and so we're just walking around hanging out, and everybody said out of the full 7 days on the catamaran, what was the best day? It was that afternoon on that island, and it's just it's nothing much, but it's a lot. It's just the experiences we try, and I guarantee you those 4 couples right now became such better friends because of that trip.
Yes.
And so much faster than in a normal situation.
And again, we mentioned it earlier of why you all have to talk yourself into taking a break. I'm right there with you. I just went about a week ago to Cabo with, a lot of you know Michelle and her girlfriends, was kicking and screaming saying, no, you get this when you open up a business. I told my husband no for a year and a half. No, no, no. And he said, too bad I pulled the trigger. You're going because you need a break, which you two fortunately do that. I think that's the most beautiful balance that you have is that, yes, you built this new place. It gets scary to say, can we step away? But part of what you do is that travel component. So I think that keeps you sane, right?
So it's I mean, for us, it's probably like a little marriage retreat every time we get to go on a trip. So time to focus on each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's another part of it. If you have any questions, let me see here. Julie said, I used to work at Midway USA. They had animals everywhere. I would turn a corner and there'd be another animal. So in the animals that are at your place, Adventure Unknown in Fenton, what's your favorite?
It's got to be the leopard.
Yes.
That hunt was, they're overpopulated with leopards, so you really have to thin the herd over there. Otherwise, people, kids, domestic animals, they suffer because of the overpopulation of the predators. So, we go over there. Their government requires a certain number of those animals to be taken each year. But that leopard hunt was scary beyond belief. But I mean, even in a leopard, we ate the ribs that night.
Wow.
And the entire animal gets eaten by the tribe. And it is very spiritual for them. But when we harvested that animal, it took 24 of African people to help hunt that. So 24 people got to work that day, and 24 people were successful. That's their job, is to find that animal. And they were all, if not happier than me that happened. So we were successful. So,
and I would add to that trip is just watching the trackers, mind blowing. I mean, you're in the desert, the Kalahari Desert, and we're driving miles upon miles. Like Scott said, we could have gone to Kansas City, I think it was, the one day and they're just sitting there looking for tracks in the sand, and then they spot a track, and you're like, how did you even see that? They're so talented.
So that's his favorite inside. What's yours?
Probably my zebra, which maybe...
My zebra.
What'd you say?
You said my zebra.
Yeah.
Again, these are the things you're going to see Thursday. I hope you can be there. It's Adventure Unknown. There you go. You're taking a look at some of it. Is that now going to be called the Bubbles Room?
We're working on it.
Yeah, we're trying.
So that was the area where, this is, by the way, when you first walk in, you'll walk as you open the door, and then you could turn to the right, and there's some wine lockers there that are really cool. Otherwise, you go forward, and that's the room you're going to see. I want to talk about that wall, by the way. Right behind that, your entire family put that together. Can you talk about the labor of love?
Yeah, so 3 daughters, and so everything in the clubhouse is very personable. There's our daughters laying it out, but we cut every single one of those pieces of wood ourselves with a chainsaw on our property, and my 3 daughters helped me put it up on the wall. I mean, it was a lot of work, probably several months of work.
I bet.
We also cut down a large tree and put it in there, and again, cutting down a tree, taking it apart, sanding it for 3 months. Kids, they do give us a little bit of grief for that, but every day going out there to sand. But they're awesome kids.
Well, you're teaching them incredible work ethic. By the way, that picture you just saw right before that one, there are 2 ladies that you have seen on our show before, Cynthia Kirkpatrick as well as Amy Post. There you go. They did a podcast on that stage, Where the Tree Is. So that's what I think is really amazing. Oh, I just got chill again. Before I started this show, I didn't know those ladies, didn't know these 2 people. The most beautiful thing is bringing people together that have like-minded individuals, same passions, and you realize those are the people who take you forward. How do you know those 2?
Amy, I met through the medical realm.
Okay.
But as we were getting to know one another, and again, this is just one of my weird things that I do is when I meet people, I want to know, what do you do? Tell me more about yourself. And so she was telling me about her daughter, who had cancer, and about the book she was thinking about writing.
You just saw that on the screen, by the way. If we want to go back to that, that book is out. If you haven't read it yet, you will not be able to put that book down. Out of the gray into the light.
So I think we just connected on a human level, and that's where that friendship took off from.
And what about Cynthia?
Cynthia was through one of our club members, actually. And so she's been to the club a couple times for presentations and podcasting. So
Isn't it fun? I mean, there's so many people that I didn't know, and all of a sudden I hear, oh, I know them now. I know them now.
Yeah.
Kira Anderson also,
Yeah,
who I didn't know. You know her. I was like, this is where your tribe and your vibe is, by the way. Todd Thomas, who was just on our show, he's one of your members.
Yep.
Okay, let me take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that word that I'm using, member. So what does it mean to be a part of this tribe that is waiting there for you? I've got some of my clients that can't wait to come on Thursday night, and one in particular that I said, if she's watching right now, this is what I believe has been waiting for you. This incredible transformation she's gone through, and friends that maybe don't want to be by her side anymore because you lose 100 pounds and suddenly people think, oh, do you think you're better than me? No, she doesn't. She's just walking the path that she wants to walk, and sometimes you got to walk to new friendships, and I believe that that might be what is waiting here for you. I would love to see you there. If we have it, we can put it on the screen of where they're located. Adventure Unknown, again, in the Fenton, Missouri area. The website that you can go to find out more information, a phone number as well. There it is, adventure-unknown.com, and the phone number is 636-399-0746. More importantly, I'd love for you, I know sometimes you all can't be there live, but I'd like for you to. There's the location in Fenton at 1505 Fen Park Drive. I'd love to see you. 4:30 to 6 is the show. We're going to talk about some of the people who will be joining us, some giveaways that we'll be doing, and then a little social hour afterwards. Love to hang with you, and maybe you become a part of this. More on the membership side when we return.
The world needs to be more positive. Yep. You know, the world, and I'm spreading positivity with my air fresheners. So,
you and I both,
sir.
Sadly, I wasn't aware of the Monica Adams show until recently, and was I missing out?
I'm definitely going to turn this on in the mornings on our TV.
She's helping people to understand their value. She's helping women to transform their lives.
From the minute that we walked in, I felt just really comfortable and at home here.
You are always a ray of sunshine and positivity.
Thank you for what you do. I love this whole thing that you're doing.
It's good news. It's great news. It's uplifting and empowering.
But you were engaged, and I love that. So thank you so much.
Welcome back, 7:48. If you're just tuning in, don't forget, if you missed the beginning part of the show, just watch right now until we end and then go back and watch the beginning of it or pick it up a little bit later. You don't want to miss one part of our show today. Adventure Unknown is what we're talking about. Scott and Johanna Schuessler, they are the masterminds behind this, and you just celebrated 1 year, just a few weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
1 year down. Check. And then on to the next. Well, actually, let's ask that. So what did you hope to accomplish in year one, and where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now?
Well, this was a concept of build it and they will come. It truly was. And so we kind of just threw out, we hoped to get to 50 members inside a year, and we did. We actually surpassed that. So we were very excited about that. And then, so the last 3 weeks have been almost gangbusters. I mean, there's so much excitement and so much energy. Everyone is just, their eyes are just, I can't believe, all the new changes and stuff. We continue to try to expand the clubhouse, and whatever the members want, we try to give them. Definitely challenged with that, and trying to get certain people to understand our vision and part of the club. But we hope to get to about 120 members, and then my assumption is the members will say, hey, we're busy enough, we're good enough, and we'll just have a waiting list for anyone else that wants in.
You have how many right now?
Almost 60.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
You have a pickleball, because that's huge, by the way. And there's the members. So when you become a member, you get it's like your walk of fame, right? So there's your pictures of all the different members that are waiting there to become friends with you. Besides everything that we've been showing you so far, they also have a pickleball court, which pickleball is crazy hot right now. You have, what, ping pong?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got a game area, so ping pong, pool, foosball and all that. We're planning to put in a gym. We're hoping to get that, and also a golf simulator in this fall.
And then you're also wanting, so there's also an outside space for people
Correct.
to mingle, maybe do a little bonfire, etc. You want to expand that?
Yeah, we have plans to put an outdoor patio out there. So, again, every atmosphere you might need, maybe social, maybe business, or anywhere in between, what you need for that day and whoever you're with, it's there.
Absolutely. And so there are people that are asking different questions. So one lady wanted to know, how much is a full membership?
So currently right now, it's either yearly $8,000 for the first year and $7,000 for every year after, or it's about $750 a month, and that's all inclusive. There's no nickel and diming after that. It's just come as much as you want, bring whoever you want, no extra charges.
So let's talk about that. So if somebody becomes a member and this is what's been waiting there for them, tell them what they all get in that membership.
Well, everything. I mean, complete access as much as you want to come. Bring whoever you want. We don't, keep track or nickel dime. There's no charges for your friends' drinks or your drinks. You use the conference rooms, offices as much as you want. Play as much pickleball as you want. It's
access to all the events that we do host.
We have many events every week. So you and your guests are free to come.
Absolutely. And you, as we just mentioned, had your year anniversary, had a ton of people there to celebrate with you. You also just had a get-together with Ollie Marmol and some of the Cardinals. Tell us about that.
I was going to say, I think that's another kind of special part about Adventure Unknown is that we really love philanthropic organizations and how can we support those. So Big League Impact is a connection Scott made. And so we hosted the event at our space, and it was amazing. We had over half the Cardinal team at the clubhouse for that event, and it was impressive how interactive those guys are.
Absolutely. You can see some of those pictures there. Again, those are the functions that would come up, and that's what you would be able to be a part of. There's Ollie right there in the middle. Talk a little baseball with them and have new friendships that form. You're very big on, as you said, giving back. There's the 1-year anniversary that they just had. What did the girls and you all say? So I'm just trying to go there that day since I wasn't able to be in town for that. What were you saying? Were there some tears, lots of hugs, elation? What did you feel that night?
For sure, yeah. It's now I get goosebumps, but to try to show them what you've been trying to build, you're asking and asking and asking for help, and then for them to see what you built and to try to get an end point of their expectation or what they thought they were going to see. That's and to thank them for a year's worth of serious manual labor as a kid and as a girl and dad who grew up with 4 brothers, it's just a workaholic.
Yeah.
My expectations for them are very high. And
sure. I love the emotion that I saw. And I don't think you all saw it because we were showing pictures. But when I asked that question, Scott literally just went like this. And I could see the goosebumps coming out in you and a little emotional, right? Or maybe a lot of emotions that take over. But that's a good thing for us to move to that. It's actually a good thing for you as a man to show emotion.
Yeah, and it's getting, unfortunately, a lot easier the older I get, and my kids are getting, my daughters are getting older too. But this is a family business for us. This is what we've set out to do. This is what we hope to make money on someday, And
that's my hope for them, by the way, because I love what they're doing. I mean, that's what they asked. They said, so what did you love the most? And I said, I love the fact that there's such a positive atmosphere. You can feel it. You can feel the warmth when you walk in. And so my big thing is, why waste another day surrounding yourself with drama and negativity when something like this can exist? That whole field of dreams, if you build it, they will come. I know that's your mantra of, we want this. We want to keep building this. I'm sure that you regularly talk to your 60-plus members and say, well, what else would you like to see? And what do they say? What is their feedback?
You actually just had a
Well, we did that last week. About every quarter I get together with just the members only and said, what do you guys like? What do you not like? What are our issues, if any? What do you want to see? And that's what I asked. And it's like, who wants a golf simulator? Who wants a gym? What else do you want? What would make your day more successful? Whether, again, social or business. I mean, it's it's really hard to describe to the club or to people what it is. But it's not a travel club, partially a travel club. It's not a hunting club, but partially it's not a business club. It's not a social club. It's everything. It's so much more. Some people join because they want to travel. Some people don't want to travel and they just need an office. Some people, just want to play pickleball. It's something different for every single person, but the description of the club it's not, this is what it is. It's a long conversation, and people then join and say, hey, I thought I was going to get this out of it, but I'm getting this, and this. And now I've got great friends, and now I've got a place to work, and now I'm going on this trip with these people I don't know, and they're so excited.
Well, I see it as a place to call home. It's your second home. It's a home away from home. Oh, I just got chill. You guys need to use that in the tag. You need to use that in the marketing. So honestly, if you break it all down and you figure Scott and Johanna want to have a gym for you, think about what a gym membership costs, okay? I have been spending way too much money on a gym membership when I have a gym in my basement, but it's an escape away. So you all brought up a really good point that some businesses, a lot of businesses since the pandemic, give people money to have work from home, this little tiny sterile looking space. They don't have to have that. They can use that in this gorgeous, again, we've been showing you some of the conference rooms that are just absolutely stunning. There you go. There's my favorite. You could do meetings there. You can have full conferences there. The social event, and again, women's nights out, as you're seeing there, or guys, or mingling together. You want to there's a wonderful group. You want to have Bible studies together. You want to do podcasts. There's a guy who's talking about running his business out of there. I saw that, right? It's something that he's wanting to do. You and I also sat down, though, and sometimes people feel like, oh, there's so much red tape that I have to get through. There's people trying to block me, and I want this to be a really powerful part of this discussion. When you feel like debris is thrown in your path and people are against you, have you gotten any pushback from the community? Not the community, the business community.
On the city side, yes. It's only because they don't understand what we're doing. They're so... They can't put a description or a definition of what this place is. And everyone that's joined has been like, they love it. They've created friendships. I've solved some of their problems for them. And so to have business, to have conference rooms, office, to have storage, to have fitness, to have, presentations, it all comes down to, are you allowed to do it? And I'm struggling very difficultly with the city and the planning and zoning for them to understand what we're doing. And I'm like, I'll do whatever you want. Tell me what you need. There's nothing bad going on here. Well, they're trying to prove that I can affect my neighbors in a bad way. And I go, there's been zero complaints, and I've got great relationships with them. And I will make sure 100% that no neighbor knows what's going on inside this building on purpose, just so I don't have any negative. There's really no potential way I could have a negative effect, but it's been I've lost a lot of sleep over it because, just trying to have the opportunity to explain to them, hey, I think we're really doing something good for a lot of people in the Fenton area. And so far it's been very much an uphill battle.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. So when you all think that things are easy, it's not. They have that thrown in their way, but you overcome. And then you have this conversation in a calm way of, this is what we're doing. We're bringing things to your area. Look, I worked at River Chase, which is now the YMCA in Fenton, for 10 years as their head trainer. And I knew the political side of, why are you trying to block this? Why don't you want this? So we're hoping that more positivity comes out of what they're doing. But I mentioned, if you put it all together, a place to go and have drinks, and that's all included, and there's food there, and there's opportunity of workspace, there's a gym, pickleball. If you put all that together, the charge for a year is very reasonable, because this is where you're going to belong. As I mentioned, it's a place for you to call a second home. Is it open to the public non-members? Well, if a member's bringing you,
correct,
right? Yeah,
right. Currently, right now, we still are allowing a lot of guests because we're not full. But at some point in time, when members are we're full, it'll be members and their guests only. But
okay,
the door is locked. You have to have a reason to be there, be invited by somebody that no one can just walk in.
Right. It's the privacy, but it's also that feeling of, oh, look what I belong to. This is
it's
exciting.
Exclusivity.
Yes. People are saying, I love this show. Again, our guest this morning, Scott and Johanna Schuessler with Adventure Unknown. So, okay, so some people have said this. Julie just said, I wish I lived closer. She lives in Chesterfield. Debbie said, I'm in Warrenton. I'm about an hour away. So what have you heard from the 60-plus people who have joined? Where are they all coming from?
Well, we've got a guy in Highland, Illinois.
There you go.
Way over an hour. I've got Newtown, Festus. So some people say 10 minutes is too far. Some people say an hour and a half is not far. And so everyone's different. And I'm there every day. I drive 29 minutes there every day.
29 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, whether you go there once a week or whether you go there once every 3 months, there's no time. You don't have to be there. You go there when you need it. And when you want to be there, you're there. And if you want to go to one event a week, one event a month, one event a year, that's your decision. It's just.
Right, but the thing is, once you become a part of it, you'd realize, well, why should I spend my money in all these other places where I walk away and I don't even know if I like the food, I don't like the atmosphere, it's too loud, I can't talk to my friends, when this can exist. So that's really what they wanted to do. Can we drop Monica's name? What? You think that's going to get you something special? I don't know. Maybe they will. We'll see. Let's talk about Thursday's show, by the way. So 4:30 to 6. Marilyn, you're a goof. 4:30 to 6 is when we're going to be there. Who else is going to join us? These are members, actually, that want to talk. And they're really cool because they have businesses. It's a great place, by the way, to network as well and maybe get new business.
Very much. The place is built on a basis of networking. It's all business support. Not everyone owns their own business. There's retired people there. They're just there for the social hour or to meet new friends or to change their circle of friends or for anything. But yeah, Reed Lowe's going to be, talking to you. A few other guys like Jim Adolphson. About 5 or 6 people are going to, give their view. And it's better than Johanna and I sitting here anywhere trying to explain our vision or what it is. It's really the members saying, this is what I thought I was getting, and now this is really what I'm getting.
Right, got even more. I will say, for those of you that are thinking of coming, this night is. So you just ask if you can come if you're not a member. Yes, you're going to come to this and you're going to find what's waiting there for you. And an opportunity to speak with Scott and Johanna and these other members that are there and friends and family that they're going to be inviting to say, this is why we wanted to join. We're going to have giveaways as well. So you have, I know Reed owns a beverage company, Opalo Wine. He's putting together something for us. 2 Men in a Garden. That's good salsa, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a package that they're putting away. And we've got a trip.
Yep.
But the trip is going to be for those that are in person. I'm going to make you come to that. We're going to reward you for coming. That's a Ozark getaway?
Yep. Lucky the Ozarks.
Okay.
No, yeah, I sent out a message to just the members saying, hey, anybody want to, give a giveaway away from your business? And we might have 20 plus giveaways.
Oh, see? We'll do some for those of you that I know absolutely positively cannot make it. So online we'll reward some of you, but you are going to come in so you can see it in person to pick up your gift. And then others, giveaways that we'll do for the people that are actually there. What are you most excited about for Thursday night?
Probably just having you in the house.
Well,
that's
and
exciting
getting a
for you
chance
to showcase, but also for our members to be able to actually be the voice for the club, because really that's what this is all about. It's not our club; it's the club for the members. So I really look forward to them speaking with you.
Well, and Scott had mentioned what he's hoping to continue to build. What do you want for the community, for your family in the next year, and then if I go 5 years from now?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how our kids actually evolve with this concept. Our oldest just graduated high school, and she'll be starting St. Louis Community College, doing the A+ program in the fall, studying business. And just, she says, I don't know what I want to do in life. And I think that's great. We think it's great. It frustrates her, but we actually see it as a really beautiful thing, because it means that your life, it's open and see where all these connections and interactions take her. So
it is good. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because there are so many that are starting school in the next week or 2 weeks. And I heard somebody the other day say, oh, he's a junior in high school. Well, he should know what he's doing. And I'm like, don't force something on someone. Because a lot of times I think people do get into something that they didn't necessarily want to get into. And then they feel lost as they go through life. And there's this burning passion inside of them that kind of festers, and then it starts to explode, and they're thinking, gosh, I really wish I would have done this, but I got forced into this. At any given point in life, though, you can make that switch. So the other part of it, though, is when you have the entrepreneurial spirit, some people will completely leap and move away from what they knew. That's scary. or you're smart in the business aspect. I don't know. There's some people that are like, hang on, Monica, I do like to leap. I didn't. I made sure that I had other things on the side that were helping to feed this dream. She's still doing the PA work, right? Do you feel like at any point you would walk away from that and this would be full blown, and because it gets so busy that this would have to be? Or do you always see yourself doing both?
No, I hope to be able to walk away and fully invest myself into the adventure unknown. Yeah.
Adventure Unknown. One more time. Let's put it up there on the screen. 4:30 to 6 on Thursday is our live broadcast. And yes, that is open to all of you to come and find out what this is all about. We can't wait to see you. 636-399-0746. Marilyn, if you would like to meet the two of them in person, have them walk you through, they would love to do that. 1505 Fen Park Drive. It's just right there off of Haran. If you go around by Fenton City Park, just wrap around and then you'll come up to Fen Park. They are doing some construction right near there right now. When are they going to get that wrapped up?
I don't know. It might be a few weeks yet.
They're making the way for you to come to Adventure Unknown. So what I hear in today, because we always wrap up with a devotional, is fear and anxiety keeping you from living out your dreams, or maybe fearing the unknown, right? So how did you come to the name Adventure Unknown, by the way?
Actually, we were sitting in our living room. This is during the pandemic, and we were sitting there with the girls trying to come up with the name. We were talking about adventures and just having these experiences that were unknown, and words were being put out there. But our oldest daughter, Krista,
she came up with it.
Yep, Adventure Unknown.
Way to go, Krista.
Yeah.
Well, fear and anxiety are the things that might hold you back. So that's how we're going to wrap up with 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety, Stephen Arterburn's daily devotional. We'll do that when we return.
She's a special woman and done so much for St. Louis.
Watching her work is one of the most incredible things you can see.
She just sees value in everyone.
Sometimes people just need you to sit with them and hear them. I feel heard.
The time flew by, and it was like sitting and talking to a friend.
Not only creating a better place here in St. Louis, but to inspire others. It's always great to have examples like you.
You have such a light and such a presence, and I could feel it this morning.
We knew right away when you started this, we wanted to be on your show. Thanks for having us.
I look forward to seeing how you rock and roll and shake it up.
I love how he said that. Yep, shake it up in life. That's what we do, and that's what Scott and Johanna did, right? They shook things up, and they've got people talking about what they have built in Fenton. But if you're nervous about doing what the three of us have done, which is going out on your own, having that entrepreneurial spirit, and thriving in life, not surviving, but thriving, this one's called Sleep Well. Again, 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. That's Philippians 4, verse 8 through 9. So have you ever woken up in the night and immediately started thinking about all the things you have to do, or do you even sleep because your mind just goes like this, or should not have done, or things that maybe break your heart? It's like a switch gets flipped. Your mind swirls as you try to process all the things that pop into your mind. You know, it's amazing that our brains can store so much information, but why does it all have to bubble up while we're trying to sleep? Anxiety, the most common cause of plunging into troubling thoughts in the middle of the night. There are lots of strategies for getting back to sleep. Now, you may have tried some. Prayer, get out of bed, meditate, take medicine, write down your thoughts, count sheep. When we're thinking about upsetting things, it can seem impossible to focus, but it's the very best thing we can do to begin to calm our mind and get some rest. So many times we just allow anything into our minds, but we need to be selective. The passage above is a great framework to focus your thoughts on. It's a very specific and positive list: true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, worthy of praise. Think of things that apply to each of those words. you can do this in your waking hours as well. If you still find that you cannot get good sleep, seek help. Sleep is so important for your brain and will help reduce anxiety in your waking hours. So for today's prayer, Lord God, help me to recall the blessings in my life as I go throughout my day. Please bless me with good sleep, comforted by knowing you are sovereign. Amen to that. You said you had sleepless nights, Scott. I need you to calm your mind.
Yes, I did hear that when you said that. Yes.
Peace. You know, there's a lot of things that work in our sleep. We need to get a good amount of sleep so that we can wake up rested and have even more passion for the day. So as we do our wrap up and final words, let's just kind of go through and put some other pictures that you have come up with, Zach, some pictures of showing the dream being built, pictures of the getaways and the wonderful trips that you could go on, and just, again, the community that waits for you. This is what it was, and we'll show you what it's become, because, again, a labor of love and a lot of hard work has gone into creating this beautiful space that could be a part of your new life. So what final message would you like to leave, Scott?
No, we do talk a lot about stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's kind of the reason why unknown is in there. You know, not just in traveling unknown, but, you know, in business and social life, and maybe, you know, you need a little help or a little assistance in figuring out what that unknown is for you. And so that's why this club is there, and it's to help surround you with like-minded people that either want to better themselves or surround themselves with smarter, more successful, you know, people. And so hopefully this place helps a lot of people. And yeah, everyone's invited. I tell everyone all day long, come to the club, check it out, feel welcome. Maybe taking that one step there might be something that you'll go back later and say it was the best first step I ever took. So.
That's right. And that life that's waiting for you all starts with that one step forward, always forward momentum. Johanna, as you look at those pictures and you guys smile of what you've created, what do you want to leave with everybody before we have our big show on Thursday?
I would just tell people that are considering coming, I would say take the risk. Just come and be ready to meet authentic, amazing human beings of our membership, and then just watch that ripple effect.
Absolutely. Now, again, some of these trips that they've gone on, and they've got more exciting ones coming up this year and building into next year. What's on your bucket list? Because you've gone to some amazing ones. There's some upcoming trips, by the way, that they have. Croatia, I heard, was beautiful. I would love to go Croatia at some point. I've just heard it's absolutely stunning. Italy, right around the corner.
I sign you up next year.
Is that next year? Oh, that way I was going to say.
Well, that's next month.
Oh my gosh, you've got all these that are coming up. How many of these do you get a chance to go on?
Well, we go on all of them just to make sure we do all the due diligence first. So we don't want there to be any issue during a trip that we don't plan ahead for. So,
yeah. What's on your bucket list? Where do you want to go? You haven't gone.
Coming up is still Azores.
Where's that?
Off of Portugal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, there's things in the world. I'm like, what is that? What about for you?
I haven't been to the Pacific, West yet. Like, I don't know, Bora Bora and Thailand, and that's going to be pretty cool, I think. So.
Doesn't Bora Bora have those little huts? That's where they did couples therapy. And my friend Kevin Steinkraus, who I used to work with at Fox, oh gosh, that was such a hard thing. He had to go to a press junket where they put him up in one of those huts. I'm like, are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. Yeah. Well, again, we all have blessings in our life, and my walk of life that I came from did just that. You need to get sleep. Debbie said I never get any more than 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. Oh. That is not a good thing. You need sleep to get rid of that anxiety. Well, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in, and if you're just now popping on, thank you, but go back and watch the show, and then do us a favor with all of your family and friends. Share this show and let them know that they can come out. This is your opportunity as a non-member to possibly become a member and to see this incredible business space, friendship space, social space, travel space, again, community that is there for you that you can be a part of. Again, your vibe attracts your tribe. We say it all the time. Scott and Johanna, thank you so much.
Thanks
for joining the show. I greatly appreciate it. Can't wait for Thursday, again, with some great people that will join us, giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you can be there. All of you, thank you. You've literally heard the message that we say every day, that you can become anything you have ever wanted in life. You've got to believe in yourself, and then others will believe around you. But the greatest thing that you can do is to be kind to one another. Please do that. God bless you all.